moment you were born, your soul knew the journey it was destined for. You were placed in that toxic environment for a reason, not to stay trapped in it, but to rise above it. While others in your family may remain stuck in their old patterns, you were born with the power to break free, to transform, and to become unstoppable. This is what they fear the most, your ability to outgrow them, to evolve beyond the limitations they have set for themselves, and to reach heights they could never imagine. When you begin to outgrow the toxic environment around you, you start to shine, and when you shine, it forces those who are still stuck to confront the truth about themselves. They know they could have chosen a different path, but they didn't. And they fear that you will be the one to show them that change is possible. It's not about you doing anything wrong. It's about you doing everything right. And that's what makes them feel threatened. Toxic family members don't hate you for who you are. They hate you for who you are becoming. They see the potential for greatness in you, and it challenges everything they've settled for. It exposes their own inability to break free from their self-imposed limitations. They would rather keep you down where they are comfortable than let you grow into the person you were always meant to be. But you are unstoppable, and that's exactly why you were born into this environment. You were meant to rise above the toxicity, to evolve, and to become the very force that breaks the chains of the past. The more you rise, the more you expose their fear, and that's why they will try everything in their power to hold you back. But it won't work. Your destiny is greater than their manipulation or control. The best part? You can't be stopped, no matter how hard they try. Every challenge they throw at you, every attempt to undermine your progress, only makes you stronger. It's like they are building the very fuel that will power your ascent. You were born for greatness, and they can't stop that. So, keep going. Keep rising. Keep becoming the person you are meant to be. The more you shine, the more you outgrow the toxic family dynamic. And in doing so, you'll prove that you were never meant to stay stuck in their world of limitations. You were born to rise above, to break free, and to become unstoppable. And that, more than anything, is what they fear. When we think about toxic families, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeing them as nothing but a source of pain and struggle. For the chosen ones, those who are destined for something greater, being born into such families may seem like an unfair twist of fate. However, in the grand scheme of things, this experience is not just a challenge, it is a huge gift. The very struggle that comes from toxic family dynamics shapes the chosen ones into powerful beings, capable of transcending their circumstances and evolving into their highest potential. Toxic families are often characterized by manipulation, control, and emotional neglect. These conditions breed narcissism, where individuals are trapped in patterns of selfishness and emotional immaturity. Narcissists thrive on domination, gaslighting, and exploiting others for their own gain. They perpetuate cycles of abuse and suffering, never fully awakening to their true potential. They remain stuck in their toxic behaviors, unable to evolve beyond the confines of their own ego. On the other hand, chosen ones experience these same dynamics, but they are not meant to stay trapped. From the moment they are born into these toxic environments, their soul is already primed for a higher purpose. They are born to break generational cycles, heal deep wounds, and reclaim their personal power. While narcissists may remain stuck in their destructive patterns, chosen ones awaken to their spiritual path and begin the journey of self-liberation. The reason chosen ones are placed in toxic families is simple. They are meant to be the catalyst for change. They are destined to break free, evolve, and create a ripple effect of healing that extends far beyond their immediate family. In contrast, narcissists often remain trapped in their self-destructive patterns, never learning from their mistakes or seeking to evolve. They blame others for their shortcomings and refuse to take responsibility for their actions. Ultimately, being born into a toxic family is not a curse, it is a divine opportunity. It is a call to action, a chance to rise above the limitations of the past and create a future that is aligned with the highest good. The chosen ones are not victims of their circumstances, they are the heroes of their own stories, destined to break free, heal, and inspire others to do the same. This journey is not easy, but it is the most powerful and transformative path they can walk. And in the end, the strength, wisdom, and resilience they gain from overcoming their toxic beginnings become the greatest gift they could ever receive. What's possible when you choose self-empowerment over victimhood? Your journey becomes an inspiration for others who are still trapped in their own pain, showing them that liberation is possible. You are the living proof that healing is not about what others do to you. It's about what you choose to do for yourself. In the end, you hold the key to your own liberation. And that key is the power to take responsibility, to heal, and to transform your life. The more you embrace this truth, the more your journey becomes one of freedom, strength, and personal growth. And the more you grow, the more you help others find their own way to liberation. There's a truth that often goes unspoken. The universe rewards those who break free from toxic cycles. If you've spent years trapped in dysfunction, surrounded by negativity and chaos, it can sometimes feel like you're fighting an uphill battle. But every step you take towards healing, growth, and breaking the cycles of the past sets you on a path that leads to something far greater than you can imagine. When you decide to take control of your life and break free from the toxic patterns that have held you back, the universe begins to take notice. It's like a cosmic agreement. You put in the work to heal, and in return, the universe starts to shift things in your favor. Healing isn't just an internal process, it has the power to create real-world transformations. By overcoming the negativity and trauma that once defined your life, you align yourself with a higher vibration, a frequency that attracts the very things you need to elevate your existence. Healing opens the doors to a life aligned with your highest self. When you release the baggage of the past, you make space for new energy to enter your life, energy that is in harmony with who you truly are. This could mean meeting people who align with your soul's purpose, finding opportunities that feel like destiny, or finally, stepping into the career, relationship, or lifestyle you've always dreamed of. The more you heal, the more the universe starts to reflect that growth back to you, sending you opportunities that were once beyond your reach. The universe doesn't forget those who put in the hard work to rise above their circumstances. When you heal and break free from toxic cycles, you create space for divine opportunities to flow into your life. These opportunities are not random, they are the rewards of your commitment to healing. Whether it's a new job, a new relationship, or a newfound sense of purpose, the universe will meet you with the people, experiences, and resources you need to continue your journey forward. In addition to attracting new opportunities, healing also opens the door to true soul family. When you begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, you start to attract people who share your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. These are the people who will support you, uplift you, and help you navigate life's challenges. No longer will you be surrounded by toxic relationships that drain you. Instead, you'll find yourself connecting with those who bring positivity, love, and mutual respect into your life. It's important to understand that the universe doesn't reward you for simply surviving toxic situations. It rewards you for transforming. Healing takes courage. It's easy to stay stuck in familiar patterns, to hold on to the past, because it feels comfortable, even when it's hurting you. But when you decide to break free, to heal, and to rise above the limitations placed upon you, you unlock a whole new level of abundance, love, and opportunity. Your journey to healing may not always be easy, and it may take time. But remember, each step you take towards breaking those cycles is a step toward a life filled with blessings. The universe rewards your efforts, guiding you towards the people, places, and things that will elevate your life to its highest potential. And the more you align with your true self, free from the chains of the past, the more the universe will provide for you, supporting your growth in ways that you never thought possible. By overcoming the toxicity in your life, you are not only healing yourself, but you are also setting the stage for a future that is rich with divine rewards. A future where your soul family, opportunities, and higher self all converge. The universe is watching, and it's ready to reward you for every step you take towards your liberation. Keep healing, keep growing, and watch as the universe unfolds its blessings before you. Have you ever wondered why toxic family members seem to resent your progress, your success, or even your very existence? It's not because you've done something wrong. It's because they see something in you that terrifies them, your potential. They know deep down that you are destined for greatness and that reality makes them uncomfortable. The truth is, they fear your ability to rise above the chaos they are trapped in. Like a deep wound, you might feel hurt, lost, or confused, wondering why you were left behind. But that pain was necessary. It was the universe's way of making sure you didn't settle for less than you deserve. The truth is, you are not meant to follow in the footsteps of those who reject you. You were born for a bigger purpose, a higher calling. The very people who tried to hold you down were the ones who were never supposed to walk with you on your journey. Their rejection opened the door for you to find the path you were always meant to walk. In a world that often ties our worth to external validation, you learn to find your own worth. You learn that your value isn't determined by anyone else's approval. Their rejection was not a reflection of your character, but a sign that you were meant for more. Now you stand stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. The rejection you faced was just a detour that led you toward your true destiny. It was the push you needed to break free from toxic attachments and begin walking the path that was always meant for you. You were never meant to follow their path. You were meant to forge your own, a path of purpose, empowerment, and greatness. Rejection wasn't a setback. It was divine redirection toward the life you were always meant to live. In life, there are two types of people when it comes to healing: those who blame and project, and those who take responsibility and break free. Narcissists often fall into the first group. They blame others for their problems, projecting their insecurities and wrongdoings onto everyone around them. They never acknowledge their own role in their pain, but chosen ones, you in this case, do things differently. You hold the key to your own liberation, and that is a power that can't be underestimated. Healing begins with taking responsibility. This doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that has happened to you. It means acknowledging that you have the power to choose your response to your circumstances, no matter how painful they may be. It's a mindset shift that moves you from a place of victimhood to empowerment. While narcissists continue to point fingers, you understand that the only way to move forward is to look inward and take ownership of your healing journey. This is what sets you apart from those who remain trapped in their pain. Unlike narcissists who continuously deflect their issues onto others, you don't waste time on blame. You know that true liberation only comes when you stop seeking validation or an apology from those who have wronged you. You realize that your freedom doesn't depend on their acknowledgement of your pain. It depends on you acknowledging your own power. This means that even in the midst of trauma or emotional turmoil, You have the ability to choose to rise above it, to heal yourself, and to let go of the chains that have held you back for far too long. Taking responsibility for your healing isn't easy. It's not about pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It's about facing the truth of your experiences, the scars you carry, and the wounds that still need to be healed. But unlike narcissists who hide from their pain and bury it deep within, you don't shy away from it. You acknowledge it. You face it head on, and that is where your true strength lies. As a chosen one, you are built to break cycles, to rise above the dysfunction that has been passed down through generations. The power to change your life, to free yourself from the chains of toxic patterns, lies within you. And it starts with the decision to heal. Healing begins with the understanding that you are in control of your own journey. No one else can do the work for you, and no one else can define your path. You hold the key to unlocking your own liberation, and you have the strength to turn it. Narcissists often stay stuck in their cycles because they refuse to look inward. They point fingers, deflect, and project their problems onto others. They will never take ownership of their role in the dysfunction, and as a result, they remain trapped in a cycle of pain, manipulation, and denial. But you, the chosen one, are different. You break free because you understand that only by taking responsibility for your own healing can you release the power that toxic people once had over you. Your liberation doesn't come from external circumstances changing, it comes from within. When you decide to stop allowing the actions of others to define your worth and your future, you unlock your true potential. When you stop waiting for apologies that may never come, and instead take control of your own healing process, you set yourself free. This is the true power of the chosen ones, the ability to rise, to heal, and to reclaim your own life, no matter what has happened in the past. By taking responsibility for your healing, you not only free yourself, but you also pave the way for others to do the same. You become an example of, and now it's your time to help others find their way back to the light as well. Living in a toxic environment, especially with narcissistic individuals, can feel like being trapped in a constant tug of war. They thrive on control, manipulation, and guilt, making it hard to know where you end and they begin. But here's the truth, they can only thrive if you let them, and you learned how to stop letting them. By breaking free from the grip of narcissists, you didn't just escape a toxic situation, you learned something vital, the power of boundaries. Narcissists don't respect personal space, they don't understand emotional limits, and they see your kindness as a weakness. They push, they manipulate, they drain. But you learned how to say no. You discovered that saying no wasn't just a defense, it was your greatest strength. Saying no is not an act of rejection, it's an act of self-preservation. And you needed that. You needed to create space where your energy could be protected and nurtured away from the constant drain that narcissists brought into your life. By setting boundaries, you protected yourself from their toxicity. You stopped allowing them to take more than you were willing to give. You started valuing your time, your emotions, and your peace, and in doing so, you created a safe space where only healthy relationships could grow. And here's the most powerful part. You learned that you don't owe anyone your energy. You learned that protecting yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and the ones who try to break them, they reveal themselves for who they really are. Your boundaries have become your defense against energy vampires, those who seek to drain, manipulate, and control. Now you walk with confidence, knowing that your no is just as powerful as your yes. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to apologize for it. It's your right. Setting boundaries isn't just a survival tool, it's a superpower. You've taken back control of your life, your energy, and your peace. And now, nothing and no one can take that from you. Growing up in a toxic environment often means emotional isolation. It's not just being physically alone. It's feeling as though no one truly understands or sees you. Narcissistic families have a way of cutting you off from the world, emotionally distancing you from others, making you feel like an outsider. But in that isolation, something incredible happened. You were chosen to experience this loneliness, and here's why. It wasn't to break you, it was to awaken you. While many people in toxic families remain trapped in the chaos, you were pushed towards something deeper. The emotional distance, the disconnect, the loneliness, these experiences became the fertile ground for your spiritual awakening. It was in these quiet moments of solitude that you began to search for something beyond the physical, beyond the human attachments that once defined your world. While others continued to stay stuck in the noise of everyday life, you began to seek answers to bigger questions. You were searching for meaning, for purpose, for truth. That isolation became the catalyst that drove you to higher spiritual connection. It wasn't easy and it wasn't quick. But you started to find something beautiful in the silence, the space to hear your own thoughts, to reconnect with your soul, and to forge a deeper connection with the universe. You realized that you were never really alone. The loneliness forced you to turn inward, to tap into the wisdom within, and to seek a higher power that was always there, waiting for you to notice. In a world that often thrives on external validation and attachments, you were chosen to rise above it all. You discovered that the true connection wasn't in earthly relationships, but in the connection to your own spirit and the divine. You were isolated, yes, but in that isolation you found your true self. You found your purpose. You found your spiritual path. The very thing that seemed to hold you back was, in reality, the thing that propelled you toward your awakening. You were chosen for this journey not to suffer, but to elevate. And now you walk with a higher understanding, knowing that the isolation you endured wasn't just a chapter of pain, it was your pathway to spiritual enlightenment. You've been rejected, abandoned, made to feel unworthy. The people who were supposed to love you, to accept you, chose to turn their backs, leaving you questioning your value and your place in the world. But what if I told you that this rejection wasn't a punishment, it was divine protection? You were never meant to walk their path. The path they tried to force you down was not your own. It was a path that would have kept you small, limited, and trapped in a cycle of dysfunction. Their rejection was a way of redirecting you toward something greater. When others choose to turn their backs on you, it can tear you apart. The more you became unbreakable. While narcissists crumble under pressure, chosen ones rise. They fold, they lash out, they break. But you've learned to use that pressure to build yourself up. Every hardship you've faced, every betrayal you've endured, it made you who you are today. Strong, resilient, unstoppable. You have something inside you that others don't. A hidden strength that was activated in your darkest moments. While others cower from challenges, you face them head on because you know this truth. You were built for more. It's not about the things that hurt you, it's about what you became because of them. You didn't just survive your struggles, you thrived. You became more than you ever imagined. And with each challenge, you've found a deeper layer of your potential. You are like a diamond, formed under intense heat, tested under pressure, but impossible to break. You were never meant to be weak. You were meant to be powerful, unshakable, and rare. So when life gets tough, when the world tries to bring you down, remember this: you were built for more. You have a strength inside of you that will carry you through anything and make you shine even brighter in the process. Growing up with toxic parents, siblings, or relatives wasn't just an experience, it was training. You were thrown into a world of manipulation, gaslighting, and deceit. At first, it may have felt like you were trapped, drowning in a sea of confusion and pain. But over time, something incredible happened. You learned to survive. Narcissists are experts at playing mind games. They twist your reality, they play with your emotions, and they make you question your own sanity. But in doing so, they unknowingly trained you. They taught you how to spot deception from miles away. They forced you to develop an inner strength that most people never have to find. You became resilient. You learned how to protect your energy. You became skilled at identifying when someone was trying to manipulate or control you. You learned how to trust your instincts and read between the lines. You became unshakable. Where others might fall victim to the same toxic patterns, you've already seen it all. You know what it looks like when someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. You've been through the storm and come out stronger on the other side. Narcissists unknowingly sharpened your instincts, and now you have a tool that others will never have. This is your superpower. You've been trained to navigate a world filled with deception. While most people are unaware of the games being played around them, you can spot them in an instant. Your resilience is unbreakable, and your ability to see through manipulation is unmatched. The truth is, you didn't just survive your toxic family, you thrived. You came out of that training ground more aware, more powerful, and more prepared to face anything life throws at you. You've learned lessons that others will take a lifetime to understand, and now you walk through life with a quiet strength that can't be shaken. Narcissists thought they could break you. Instead, they unknowingly made you stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever comes next. Your pain wasn't just something to survive. It wasn't just a series of unfortunate events you had to get through. It was your preparation. Every moment of suffering, every hurt you endured was meant to awaken something deeper within you, a purpose. You weren't meant to carry that pain in silence. You weren't meant to let it break you. You were meant to transform it into something powerful. Your pain has given you a unique perspective, an understanding of suffering that others will never know unless they've lived it. And because of that, you hold the key to helping others through their own darkness. While you may have once felt isolated, like you were all alone in your struggles, the truth is that you were never meant to suffer in vain. Your journey was meant to prepare you to be a healer, a guide, someone who can walk alongside others and light the way. You are the light for those still trapped in the dark. You understand what it feels like to feel abandoned, betrayed, or misunderstood. But you also know that healing is possible. You've walked through the storm, and now you can offer your hand to others who are still struggling to find their way out. Your purpose is not just about personal growth, it's about using everything you've been through to inspire, uplift, and guide others. You were meant to help them see that they can rise above their pain too. Your journey is a testament to the fact that healing is possible, even in the darkest of circumstances. You were never just meant to survive your pain. You were meant to share your story and heal others along the way. The struggles you've faced have shaped you into someone who has the power to change lives, to give hope, and to remind others that they are not alone. You are the light. You were meant to shine. Had to read between the lines to survive. You had to sense when danger was near. You had to learn who was truly for you and who was secretly working against you. Now, as an awakened, chosen one, this ability becomes one of your greatest strengths. You can walk into a room and instantly feel the energy. You can hear someone's words but understand their true intentions. You can no longer be fooled. While others fall for manipulation, you stand unmoved. While others get trapped in toxic relationships, you see the red flags before they even appear. This is your power. You don't just live in the world, you see through it. And that makes you unstoppable. Growing up in a toxic family means you were never taught love. You were taught survival. Instead of warmth, you faced coldness. Instead of support, you faced criticism. Instead of feeling safe, you walked on eggshells, never knowing when the next emotional storm would hit. In a healthy family, love is given freely. Parents nurture their children, uplift them, and teach them self-worth. But in a toxic environment, love comes with conditions, if it comes at all. You were made to feel that love had to be earned, begged for, or proven. And sometimes, no matter how hard you tried, it never came. What they didn't give you, you learned to give yourself. Your journey to self-love wasn't easy. It didn't come from kind words or gentle encouragement. It came from pain, rejection, and loneliness. You had to become your own source of love, not because they gave it to you, but because you had no other choice. At first, this may have felt unfair. And it was. No child should have to teach themselves how to love. No child should have to question their worth. But in being denied love, you were given an opportunity. The chance to build it from within. Unlike those who grew up with love handed to them, you had to fight for yours. You had to unlearn the lies they told you that you weren't enough, that you didn't deserve happiness, that you were unlovable. You had to replace those false beliefs with truth. And the truth is, you were never unworthy. You were never the problem. You always deserved love. Toxic families create brokenness, but chosen ones turn that brokenness into wholeness. While others rely on external validation, you have learned to validate yourself. While others need approval, you have found strength in standing alone. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. This is the power of mastering self-love. When you finally accept yourself fully and completely, you become untouchable. The words that once hurt you lose their power. The people who once controlled you can no longer shake your foundation. You realize that love was inside you all along, waiting to be claimed. And this is why you were forced to walk this path. Because you weren't meant to just receive love, you were meant to become it. You never fit in. From the beginning, you felt different, like an outsider in your own family. While others played along with toxic patterns, you questioned them. While they accepted the dysfunction, you saw the truth. You were the black sheep. At first, this felt like a curse. You may have asked yourself, why don't they understand me? Why do I feel so disconnected? Why am I always the problem in their eyes? But here's the truth they never told you. Black sheep aren't outcasts. They are chosen ones. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to follow in their footsteps. You were meant to break free. Toxic families fear the black sheep because they see what others ignore. They challenge the unspoken rules. They refuse to pretend. While everyone else is trapped in the cycle, the black sheep is the one who escapes. This is your superpower. You were forced to stand alone so you could grow stronger. You were pushed away so you could find your own path. You were misunderstood so you could discover a deeper truth that you never needed their approval to begin with. Many spend their lives stuck in the same toxic cycles, afraid to step out of line. But you were born to evolve beyond them, to break the patterns, to heal, to create something new. So if you ever feel alone, remember this. You weren't rejected. You were redirected. The black sheep doesn't belong in the flock because it was never meant to follow. It was meant to lead. If you've ever felt like you've been through the fire, betrayed, gaslighted, and emotionally neglected, know this: you weren't broken, you were being forged. Every lie told to you, every time your reality was twisted, it wasn't meant to destroy you, it was meant to harden you. Like a diamond being formed under intense pressure, you were being shaped into something stronger, something that couldn't be easily shattered. Toxic families have a way of wearing people down, don't they? They make you doubt yourself, question your worth, and feel like you're not enough. But what they fail to realize is that you were never weak. The more they tried to awaken. Pain teaches compassion. It teaches strength. It teaches you to see beyond what is in front of you and recognize the deeper meaning of life. And most importantly, it teaches you that you are not your suffering. You are what you become because of it. While others remain blind to the truth, your suffering forced you to see. It forced you to grow, to question, and to rise. This is why chosen ones awaken sooner than most, because their pain was never meant to break them. It was meant to transform them. Not everyone knows how to handle pain. Some people bury it, pretend it never happened, and let it control them from the shadows. Others, like narcissists, refuse to face their wounds, so they pass their pain on to others, hurting instead of healing. But chosen ones? They do something different. They transform pain into power. This is called emotional alchemy, the ability to take suffering and turn it into something greater. Just like alchemists in ancient times tried to turn metal into gold, you turn your wounds into wisdom, your scars into strength, and your struggles into purpose. Think about it. The very pain that once made you feel weak is the same pain that now makes you strong. The betrayal, the rejection, the loneliness, they all taught you something. They shaped your mind, deepened your soul, and gave you a level of understanding that most people will never reach. This is where you stand apart from narcissists. While they refuse to look inward, you face the pain head-on. While they choose to repeat the cycle, you choose to break it. You were born to heal, not to hurt. This contrast reveals something important. Your pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you. Every hardship, every tear, every lonely night, it was all refining you, making you into someone powerful, someone unbreakable. You have already done what many cannot. You have chosen growth over bitterness. You have chosen healing over hurting. And because of that, you are no longer just a survivor. You are a transformer. This is the true gift of being a chosen one. Where others remain trapped in the darkness, you rise. You take everything life threw at you and turn it into something that not only heals yourself, but inspires others. That is emotional alchemy, and that is your power. Some families pass down wealth, others pass down wisdom. But in toxic families, what gets passed down is pain, the same abuse, the same manipulation, the same emotional wounds, repeated from generation to generation, like an unbroken chain, until someone strong enough comes along to break it. That someone is you. You were not just born into a toxic family, you were chosen to end the cycle. The pain you endured wasn't just about you. It was about generations of suffering before you, about patterns that went unchecked for years, even centuries. Most people in your family accepted the dysfunction, lived with it and passed it down, but you saw through it. You questioned it. You refused to let it continue. This is what makes you different. You carry the strength, the awareness, and the courage to stop what others couldn't. The anger, the fear, the neglect, it ends with you. You are not just healing yourself. You are healing your bloodline. Think about the impact of your choice. Because you chose to break free, your future children, or even those around you, won't have to suffer the way you did. You are creating a new path, a new story, one that isn't built on pain but on wisdom, love, and strength. And this is why your journey was so difficult. Breaking chains is not easy. Walking away from toxic people is not easy. Healing wounds that weren't even yours to begin with is not easy. But you are doing it. You were never weak for struggling. You were never wrong for feeling different. You were simply the one who was chosen to break what was never meant to continue. And that is the most powerful thing you could ever do. When you grow up in a toxic family, you develop a skill that most people never have, the ability to see through illusions. You've been surrounded by manipulation, gaslighting, and deception for years. You know what it feels like to be lied to be used, to be controlled. And because of that, you've developed something powerful, discernment. Discernment is like X-ray vision for the soul. While others take things at face value, you see beyond the surface. You notice the shifts in people's energy. You hear what isn't being said. You pick up on patterns of behavior that others miss. You can sense when something is off, even if the person in front of you is wearing the perfect mask. Think about it. How many times have you met someone and felt an instant warning inside you? How many times have you seen the truth about a person long before they revealed their true colors? That's not paranoia. That's wisdom earned through experience. Toxic families teach you this skill without even realizing it. They force you to become a human lie detector. What if I told you that your painful childhood, the betrayals, the loneliness, and the constant feeling of not belonging were actually a gift? Yes, you heard that right. You weren't just born into a toxic family by accident. There's a deep, powerful reason behind it. At times, it may feel like life is unfair. You may wonder, why me? Why did I have to be the black sheep, the outcast, the one who was never truly loved or understood? But here's the truth. You were chosen for something greater. Growing up in a toxic family wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to shape you into the powerful person you are becoming. Every challenge was a lesson. Every heartbreak was a step toward something bigger. And in this video, I'm going to reveal 16 powerful reasons why your struggles were actually a hidden blessing. Stay with me until the end, because this is more than just knowledge. It's a wake-up call that will shift the way you see your past, your pain, and your purpose. Before we dive in, drop a comment below if you've ever felt like the black sheep in your family. Let's build a community where we uplift each other. Show some love, hit that like button, and let's uncover the truth together. What if I told you that being born into a toxic family wasn't a curse, but a hidden blessing? That every challenge, every betrayal, and every painful moment was shaping you into something extraordinary? Let's break down reasons why chosen ones and narcissists were placed in toxic families, and why this painful experience is actually a divine gift in disguise. Now let's get started. Life is not just a series of random events. There is a deeper meaning behind everything, even the struggles you faced growing up. If you were born into a toxic family, it wasn't by chance. It was part of a soul contract you agreed to before you were even born. Your soul knew the challenges ahead. It understood the pain, the betrayal, and the loneliness you would feel. But it also knew something else. You were strong enough to overcome it. You were meant to break free from the toxic cycles that have been passed down for generations. Here's the truth that most people don't realize. Some souls are born into loving families where they feel safe and supported. Others, like you, are placed in difficult environments not as punishment, but as a mission. Your purpose was to experience contrast, to see what happens when love is absent, when manipulation and control replace kindness. This contrast forces you to grow in ways others never have to. It pushes you to awaken. While some people, especially narcissists, get stuck in this toxic cycle, repeating the same patterns of hurt and control, you are different. You are a chosen one. You were meant to break free to see the truth and to rise above the darkness you were born into. Think about it. If you had been born into a perfect, loving family, you might never have questioned life. You might never have searched for deeper meaning, for healing, or for truth. But because you experienced suffering, you now seek wisdom. You now crave growth. This is what makes chosen ones different. Instead of becoming bitter or repeating the same harmful behaviors, you transform. You take the pain and turn it into power. You take the wounds and turn them into wisdom. You break the cycle so that future generations don't have to suffer the way you did. Your toxic family was not your ending, it was your beginning. And as you step into your power, you will realize that everything happened for a reason. The soul contract wasn't a punishment, it was your greatest opportunity to become the person you were always meant to be. Pain changes people. It shakes them, breaks them, and forces them to see the world differently. For chosen ones, pain isn't just something to endure, it's the very thing that wakes them up. When you are born into a toxic family, you don't have the luxury of living in illusions. Others may grow up in comfort, believing everything is fine, never questioning life. But you were thrown into the fire early. You saw the truth before most people even knew to look for it. Pain is the greatest teacher. It doesn't whisper, it shouts. It forces you to ask questions. Why is my family like this? Why do they hurt me instead of love me? Why do I feel different from them? These questions lead to deeper awareness, and that awareness is the first step toward spiritual awakening. For many, spiritual awakening happens later in life, but for chosen ones, it starts early, because pain doesn't let them stay asleep. The suffering you endured made you look beyond the surface, beyond the lies, beyond the masks people wear. It made you search for answers. Not everyone wakes up. Many people trapped in toxic environments stay trapped. They accept the lies, they repeat the same harmful patterns, and they never break free. But you are different. You felt the pain, and instead of letting it destroy you, you used it to